All right, thank you for joining us. This is the Overtime Sports Radio Show on FuegoBeats.com. My name is Rick from Just Man Talk, and I've got on the line, I've got Profitt. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And I've also got the Nemesis. What's up, brother?
Yeah, what you said. How you doing?
There he is. All right, big day in sports today. Obviously, the draft is going hot and heavy. They're at round 3, second day, doing rounds 2 and 3 today. Round 1 finished up yesterday, and of course, 4 through 7 will be tomorrow. Or by the time you're hearing this, you might already be deep into it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get deep into the draft. Of course, the beginning of the draft was a heavy hitter. I mean, I think the first 7 or 8 picks, all linemen. I guess what they're trying to tell us, guys, is that they finally bought into the program that winning starts up front. What do you think?
Of course. Linemen are the heart and soul of the team. I mean, you can't do anything as a quarterback if you don't have some dedicated dudes up front. So I agree.
And especially, you got to take a look at it this draft season. It wasn't like last year's, so everybody was kind of like looking around like, what is it? What are they going to do? What are they going to get? Like, who are they going to get? So apparently they wanted to go with linemen this year. And it was kind of funny how the first draft pick they went with, it was kind of a under the radar guy from Central Michigan, which I thought it was kind of surprising to me because I figured that Kansas City would have went with more like I would have said maybe like a quarterback or something like that, but I guess they didn't want Geno Smith or Matt Barkley for that matter. So, hey, they got what they got. So at the end of the day, it was a good draft pick. Maybe he might do wonders.
Apparently nobody wanted Geno Smith. That was one of the stories we'll talk about later. Some of the people that slid in this draft was it's really thrown the prognosticators for a loop. Of course, it's funny to hear him backtrack and give all the reasons why it happened, that they, of course, knew about all this stuff, even though when they filled out their draft board, they had them going a lot higher than they did.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Central Michigan, the dude, 305, 6'8", Eric Fisher. They figured between him and Luke Jokel, one of them was going to go first, the big boy from Texas A&M, offensive tackle. So, yeah, definitely you had a guard actually go in the top 10 there. So it was really interesting to see no quarterbacks coming out. But like you said, that goes back to the fact there's no RG3, there's no Andrew Luck out there. And everybody's just got to figure, well, we got what we got. We're going to have to just build a base and make the quarterbacks that we have, surround them with the best talent we can, and see where we go from there, huh?
Exactly. That it's just one of those things. But my question to you is, for the both of you is, were you guys satisfied with your picks so far? That is, if you had any, because I know I wasn't.
Well,
I'll defer to the Cowboys. Go ahead.
Well, when we talk about Dallas, I mean, we already, how do I put this? We're already on a downward spiral because we gave Romo for starters. And second of all, that first pick in the draft, that big one, it's good that they chose him. I mean, because you think about Alex Smith and how he's been, pushed around after all the hard work that he puts in. So I figured, they figured, why get a quarterback and insult this guy's intelligence when he came over here for a clean start? So why not get a lineman that can protect him, eager to protect him and make life easier?
Well, they took the first 3 picks they took a center, a tight end, and a wide receiver. So they're definitely trying to give that $100 million man some protection, a safety valve, and hopefully a deep threat. 6'2", 205, Terrence Williams out of Baylor. So yeah, they're surrounding their $100 million man with some weapons, which what you got to do. I wouldn't be surprised in the later rounds. The Redskins, they started off drafting defense, which they needed to. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go 5th, 6th round, they start picking up a wide receiver. somebody who can burn, maybe a little project. And, I mean, in NFL, you're going to be throwing the ball. Hopefully they're going to get a little more away from that, zone read offense and get him in the pocket to get him a little protection. Maybe move him outside the pocket a little bit with some controlled scrambles, but not do so much running. Let's get some targets down the field for him to get to. Hopefully we get Fred Davis back, and Pierre Garçon can get over his toe injury and finally play a full season for us, and maybe we can actually get something going there.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I don't know if too many people know about this, but I'm a Oakland Raiders fan. Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing. But what are you gonna do? But we went number 12 with DJ Hayden.
Nemesis hadn't stopped laughing yet. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it slipped.
Yeah, did you are you sure you got it all out yet? Are you sure?
I mean, okay, I'll say what I gotta say. I hope you guys give Terrell Pryor a chance.
All right. Really? Do you think we're really going to have him step foot on a football field? Are you serious?
Why not? I mean, he's a lot better chance at quarterback than Carson Palmer.
The best way.
Did you guys get Matt Flynn, by the way?
Yeah, we got Matt Flynn after we, shoveled past Carson Palmer to the Cardinals. So.
Y'all just made matters from bad to worse. What's Matt Flynn going to do for you?
Well, you got to give the guy a chance. You just never know, because
they got him a tackle, 320-pound, Menelik Watson. So, they're trying to get something around him, even though they did go defense on the other two picks, where they picked a speed-burning corner on the outside. So, that's typical Raiders pick. But
hey, in my defense.
Draft speed, not talent. Hey, we got a Brandon Banks we can send your way too if you want some more speed that doesn't really do anything for you.
No, I'd rather not, because anybody that comes out here is gonna, what is the saying about Oakland? It's like all the good players come out there to die or something like that. If I do remember, nobody asked you though. So anyway,
I'm just saying. I mean, Matt Flynn just as good of a chance at quarterback as Nicki Minaj in Bible study.
Oh, you're funny. Oh, you want to be funny tonight? Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you have this. There's going to be one day when Oakland's going to be in the AFC Championship game, and everybody's going to be. Yeah. It's going to come back.
That's been since '83, right?
No, actually, there, Rick. No, actually, there it was 2002, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad. I still have visions of that rocket screen against Joe Theismann in '83. It just still rings in my head.
Oh, yeah.
You're probably too young to know what that play was about, right?
Yeah, but I still remember it. I still remember it from videos in the archives. Yeah, that was a good Super Bowl, wasn't it?
It's all right. We'll talk about that another time. But look, when we come back, we'll get deeper into this. We're going to find out, who had their big day ruined, who showed up to New York and didn't get any love in the first round, and then who decided they want to take their ball and go home and play and didn't want to come back anymore. We'll get more into that. This is Overtime Sports Radio on FuegoBeats.com.
What's going on? This is Fuego Beats from Fuego Beats Radio, and I want to tell everyone to check out the greatest sci-fi radio station out, Super 564 on Blog Talk Radio. They have the best topics, including sci-fi films, comic books, video games, and they even have a featured artist segment for musicians weekly. So if you have an obsession with sci-fi films, music, or video games like me, then this is the station for you. Make sure you check them out on blogtalkradio.com/Super564. That's blogtalkradio.com/SUPAFI64. All right? And remember, stay connected.
You're listening to Overtime Sports Radio on FuegoBeats.com. All right, welcome back, Overtime Sports Radio Show. This is Rick. I'm here with Nemesis and Profitt. What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's going on, Rick? How you doing?
Chilling, man.
Watching this draft, man. So, very interesting things happened during this draft. Probably not the fireworks everybody that it was last year, but definitely some feelings got hurt. Some people slid in this draft. I don't want to talk to you guys about that. See what your opinion is. So obviously, the two biggest stories I think coming in was the Honey Badger and Manti Te'o. Now, of course, Manti Te'o is the one that had the make-believe girlfriend. It turned out to be a guy friend. It turned out to be no friend. So he slides down. Second round, the linebacker from Notre Dame. Of course, he was, all world all season. Then he gets into the national championship game and chokes. He goes to the combine, and he's running with bricks in his shoes. So he slides all the way to the second round. The Chargers take him, and then the Honey Badger, the guy who wakes up and has a bag of weed. What's that song? Smoke 2 joints before I get up. I smoke 2 joints at night. This guy from age 13 lived with a joint in his hand. So finally, he gets picked. He slides to the third round, goes to Arizona. So what do you think, guys? Were they justifiably picked late? I mean, should all those off the field issues have impacted where they were picked, or did they get ripped off, man?
Well, oh no, go ahead, Nims.
I was just saying, I think justice was served. I mean, Manti just needs to be happy that he got picked, period, considering his antics, but I'm sure his girlfriend, oh, my bad. I'm sure his family's happy that he got drafted. And as far as the Honey Badger, they don't tell him what he's doing right now to celebrate being picked. I mean, we got an idea, but I don't want to assume anything.
I just hope he stays away from DC, and my two guys, Fred Davis and Williams, just stay away from DC, man.
Mm-hmm. Because, anytime that you have, character issues, of course, that's the first thing that the organization is going to look at above everything else. So for you to think that you're going to get, a first round, second round draft pick, that wasn't going to happen. So I think he was probably placed where he needed to be at, to be honest with you.
Well, the one thing I'm going to say is, though, when you look at the difference between the two, I think Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger kind of made his own bed, with the weed smoking. And he failed a dozen tests. And that's just not throwing out an estimate number. He failed over 12 tests.
Right,
okay?
right.
On the other hand, Manti Te'o, all right, his stuff just kind of came out in public. This was his own little private thing that was going on. And he kind of got caught up into it. And, maybe he elaborated a little bit too much. But he wasn't really, I don't think, no one got hurt by it. He really wasn't doing anything nefarious. It wasn't illegal what he was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. You're right.
And when he got caught, what did he do? He went on TV. He fessed up to it. Now, he wanted to wait till after the national championship game. But I think what had happened, he had gotten phone calls prior to the game. Either it was TMZ or the Inquirer, one of them. They were getting ready to come out with a story, and they wanted his quotes before they did it. Right. Of course, they were going to wait till the perfect time, national championship game. He's in the spotlight now, can sell more magazines by throwing this guy under the bus. So, kind of a victim there, but, I don't know. Maybe, who knows what happened in those interviews? You know what I mean? When they close the doors and they say, all right, son, what happened? But
right.
I think there's a little bit of difference there, don't you?
Yeah, well, at the same time, there was also speculation that he kind of was in on it. And, then you had, people in the locker room that was on, anonymous saying that, he was the type that always wanted attention seeker or something like that. It's like maybe this could improve his draft stock or something like that. But still, for that to happen, that's kind of like you just never know. You never know.
Well, so, he wants attention. Wait till week 1 in the NFL when he's out there on the field. Those fans get a hold of him.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to see that.
So another one that slid, Geno Smith slid down. Geno Smith, after the first round when he wasn't picked, he said he wasn't coming back for the second round. He said, I'm just going home. Of course, his agent talked some sense into him, and he ends up going, I think, 39th overall to the Jets. And then, what does he do? In his interview, he predicts playoffs. You got to love it, right?
Yeah, I was kind of stunned with that.
I think that Rex Ryan rubbed off on him instantly. Personally, I have a strong feeling that he sunk even further in the draft because you know how bad news travels fast. I got a strong feeling that they found out how he was having his little iffy fit. So that's probably why he dropped even lower. He might have been the first pick in the second round if he had kept his cool. So he oceans.
Well, Maya Angelou says, "When people show you who they are, believe them." And he kind of showed his cards right there in the way he reacted to not getting picked in the first round. And you know, the owners or whoever is making these picks, the general managers, you know, they responded to that. They said, "All right, we're just not going to take you."
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I ain't know about his. I ain't know my answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how I know that. I do not watch Oprah though.
Rick, are you a fan of the Oprah Book Club?
Hey, look, man.
You watched that DMX argument, did you?
Only when she does cool interviews, you know what I'm saying? I like to watch, what's his name, Tom Cruise jump on the couch and scream like an idiot.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of a classic. Gotta love that.
So I guess they, you know, again, with this whole draft, I think what we're looking at here is that, I mean, they, you know, when it comes, you get the numbers, everybody runs, you know, you can really compare the numbers. We're talking 4-3, 4-2, 4-3, 4-2, 4-2, 5, 4-2-3. Really what it comes down to, what they're really picking here is they're going for the intangibles. The thing, everybody can run fast. Everybody can play football. What we want is, you know, you look at the first quarterback that was taken, and God dang, I can't remember his name. But this guy, you know, everybody was like, where the hell? But then when you dig a little deeper, I mean, yeah, the size and all like that, and his name really doesn't matter. But what does matter, he was two-time academic.
Oh,
on top of everything talking about.
Yeah, that would be Florida State's E.J. Manuel.
Yes,
yeah. Say one more time, Profitt, please.
E.J. Manuel.
That's right. From where?
Florida State. Yo, I forgot. That's your favorite college football team. Whoops.
Don't forget it.
But I mean, you see what I'm saying, though. Was he the fastest? No. Was he the strongest? No. But you know what? He had all the little things they're looking for. You know, he's two-time All-American. I mean, all academic. By all accounts, a great, upstanding young man who's willing to do the little things, to put in the work and do the things that are necessary to be not only, I mean, great team leader. I mean, these are things that they used to describe him.
That's
and
right.
It's just telling that, you know, he's the first one taken, and that's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Now, you look at RG3. I mean, obviously the physical gifts and everything else, but when you hear about anyone talk about him, it's all the other things that they gloat about. You know, what an upstanding young man he is, what a great leader he is, what a charismatic personality he has. And, you know, I mean, he's showing it on and off the field all of last year.
So Rick, if you were a GM and you were looking for a draft or for a draft prospect or anything like that, what would you say the first thing would be that you want in a player? Would it be character? Would it be skill set? Like, which one would it be for you?
It's got to be heart. I gotta know somebody is going to go out on that field and bleed for me. You know what I mean? Because that makes them bigger than their stats, bigger than their numbers. I mean, you get somebody. Chris Hamburger is one of my all-time favorite Redskins. He was an undersized middle linebacker. But I'll tell you what, Pat Fisher, cornerback. These are the guys that were, you know, should not have made it in the NFL or last as long as he did or played as well as he did. But they had heart, man. They had so much heart. You look at Darrell Green, 20 years in the league at 5'8". Are you kidding me? This guy had heart, man. He'd break a rib for you, and literally did that. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that would go above and beyond and leave it all out on the field for you. So, you know, Gary Clark, another guy. At the end of the day, when the game is over, they've got nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
They're not saving it for the interviews. They're not saving it for the clubs. They're not saving it. They're putting it all out on the field for you. They're giving you. They are a true what we call a Redskin. You know, and that's the kind of player. And then we're going to talk about all the other things. But they got to have that heart. They got to be willing to give more of themselves than they think they have.
Right. I definitely agree with that. You got to give your whole your all for that whole 60 minutes straight up. That would be a big one for me. And then all, you know, like you said, everything else would come afterward, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I understand. Yeah, people make mistakes and all like that. You know, I get that. You know, you look at Dexter Manley. He was no model citizen. but the guy would run through a brick wall for you if he played on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he would. I remember my dad used to talk about him sometimes, how he went through 4 years of college. they can't even.
He couldn't read. He was illiterate. He literally came out and admitted, "Hey, look, I can't read," and he went and learned how to read. I mean, it was a pretty amazing story, but pretty sad too. You think all the people that allowed him to get through that far just because he could play. You know, they did him a disservice, but you know, he gave 100% for his team, and that's all he was about, man.
That's all that matters. That 100%.
Well, I know somebody that won't be given 100%, and that is your boy Kobe Bryant out in L.A. We're going to get into some NBA here in a little while, but first we got a little more NFL news I want to talk about. Some other quarterback, not named Romo, got a huge contract, and I think we've got to touch on that a little bit before we move on to the NBA. This is Rick, Profitt, and your boy Nemsis on Overtime Sports Radio. This is Rick from Just Man Talk, and you're listening to Overtime on FuegoBeats.com. All right, welcome back to the Overtime Sports Radio Show on FuegoBeats.com. This is Rick. That's Nemsis and Profitt on the other side. What's up, gentlemen?
Nothing much, man. Just glad to be here.
Stunning news break. Dallas Cowboys have just drafted tight end hopeful 6'7" Brittany Griner in an out-of-the-box move. Nice way to go. Oh, Jerry Jones is on top of his game. Look at that, huh?
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Is that Nemesis? Huh?
Okay, that does it.
Oh, my bad.
Do you think Griffin's going to return from that Michael Jackson Thriller move he made against the Seahawks playoffs?
Yeah, that was a great move, wasn't it?
Yeah, his leg was going to Nebraska. The other leg was going to Ohio. And
look, man, he's got this, okay? You'll see.
Fellas,
What Adidas said.
You guys still have D'Angelo Hall, please. No.
All in for week one, baby. All in for week one.
Fellas, let's try to be cordial here. I know you're like arch enemies, but we have a show.
I haven't thrown the mic one time. Now, come on.
They don't send D'Angelo Hall after Des Bryant. He's messing around and get.
Now we're taking low blues. Okay, so look, Romo gets the $100 million contract, but like we talked about before we went to break, he's not the only one. The Green Bay Packers have just upped one. Aaron Rodgers gets an extension. Through the 2014 season, he was going to get $20.75 million now. He's got a 5-year extension worth $110 million. It's going to pay him $62.5 million for the first 3 seasons. Overall, he will earn $130.75 million over the next 7 seasons, and the contract will expire a few months after his 36th birthday. That's an average of $22 million a year. Of course, Joe Flacco just got his. His is a $20.6 million per year. So that makes Rodgers the highest paid quarterback in the NFL history. So I guess the question now for you guys is he worth it?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, most definitely. Proof is in the pudding. Super Bowl winning MVP. One of the elite quarterbacks of this league. He should get paid that much. I really think so.
Yeah, he just needs players around him to come up big in the clutch in the playoffs a little bit more. Because honestly, I think the Packers could have won. They could have repeated in the Super Bowl after they had beat the Steelers, but for whatever reason, they let them Giants just have a fluke victory. And then last year, I don't know what it was. I guess that dude from San Francisco was just not going to be denied. But Aaron Rodgers, I see him getting about 2 or 3 more before he retires.
Well, I think it's kind of funny about this. If you look at the last 3 quarterback contracts, okay, the big $300 million contracts, you got Romo, you got Flacco, and now you got Rodgers. So Romo's is for the potential, obviously, because he hasn't won a Super Bowl. So you have to say that the market's pretty slim out there, especially if we look at the draft today. I mean, if nothing else, the draft today showed you exactly why Romo got his contract, because there's nothing out there. Okay,
Slim pickings. Yep.
You know,
Yep,
I mean, if
exactly.
they're trading for Matt Flynn as your big trade in the offseason, there's nothing out there. So you got to pay him, right?
Yeah.
Then you look
Yeah.
at Flacco. He's getting his for what he did. You know, what have you done for me lately? I won your Super Bowl. Give me $100 million. Well, there you
Well,
go.
he didn't exactly win it for him. I mean,
Well,
he had
okay. He was there, though. He had the ball more than anybody else on the field. So,
yeah, this is
but then
true.
you look at Rodgers now. Rodgers, he's got both sides of that because I think he's not only getting paid for what he has done for them lately, but he's getting paid for what he can still do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm almost looking like this guy actually has earned it and probably, I think, now, guys, here's a question. Out of these $300 million quarterbacks, which one gets back to the Super Bowl first or
Probably.
gets there for the first time?
I would say more
Romo
so.
can stop choking, man. I'm a pick. I like for Romo to go there, but he's such a choke artist, man. He's got to stop choking.
Well, I would say for him, he's going to keep choking, and I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers because I think he is on fire right now, and I think he has the best option. He's the best option to bring him back to the Super Bowl.
I would say Rodgers probably because he's got the easiest path.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't really know. I mean, Minnesota, they don't have a quarterback. Chicago, I don't know what their deal is. They seem to have all the parts in place, but nothing ever seems to happen. But if you're in Dallas, you've got to go now. The Giants, the Redskins are surging. You don't know what to expect out of Philadelphia. So the NFC East could be back, regaining their form. And then Baltimore, you've always got to go through Pittsburgh. So, I mean, it's a tougher road to hoe, I think, on this side than it would be out there in Rodgers land. So, but again, he's been there, done it too. So now he's got the experience. On top of that, Mike McCarthy's an absolute animal when it comes to offensive game planning. So the only thing that bothers me with these contracts is that, yeah, they deserve it. I get it, but you're really limiting what you can do around him now. You know what I mean? You get the criticism that, you get these superstar quarterbacks, but they don't put any parts around them. But if you're paying them $20 million a year and you're that's 20% of your budget, I mean, what the hell? How are you going to put anybody around them? You can't pay anybody.
Yeah, but do you think that they should be getting paid that much, or do you think that they should be taking more of the Tom Brady approach kind of? Do you think they should be going that way, in that direction?
My friend said the other day to me, he made a statement. He says, I think that a quarterback or any player should get paid whatever the team is willing to pay them. So when we were using the comparison talking about London Fletcher, London Fletcher is aging. He's not, he's still good, but he's not like what he was 2 or 3 years ago. But he's counting $6 million against the cap, and we're already strapped losing $18 million. And I said, really, should we force him into some kind of restructuring? I mean, he's been such a big part of the team. What do you do? And he says, look, if they're willing to pay him $6 million, you got to give him the $6 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Apparently, that's what they feel he's worth to the team, regardless. Maybe it be other ways, the intangibles we talked about earlier, but whatever. So if a quarterback's going to if they're going to pay him $100 million, he deserves it. I mean, I say go get it, Romo. Get your $100 million, baby. Get it. You may never get a bonus check from the playoffs, so you might as well grab the cash and salary when you can, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that does it. That does it. I'm gonna guarantee this right now. The minute Romo eliminates being a choke artist during his contract, Dallas will win 2 rings. Yeah, that's right. Because everybody knows that when Romo is on, can nobody in the league stop him.
I'm a diehard Redskin fan. I will give due where it's due. Romo in a regular season is, and you look at his stats. He's one of the best completion percentages in history. I mean, you can't mess with it. And I think the problem is when he gets into he wants it so bad that he can't get out of his own way. Sometimes you just have to let the players around you carry you through things. Do your part, but not try to do everything. And I think that's what he tries to do too much. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying this as a knock on him, it's just a fact, he doesn't have, he has skills, but he doesn't have the Griffin skills. He doesn't have the Rodgers skills. He doesn't have the Brady, touch on the pass. I mean, he doesn't have all those things. So, I mean, he wasn't a first round draft pick. I mean, he wasn't. You know what I mean? Wasn't he a free agent? I mean,
Was it?
Or was he just fifth round, fourth round, something? I mean, I'm honestly, I can't remember. I'm having a brain cramp. I don't know, but he definitely went top 3 rounds.
I know he was the afterthought. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's fine. He's made a great niche for himself, and he does well at what he does. But that's the thing. I think sometimes he thinks he can do more than he can do. And you look at Joe Flacco, perfect example. Don't do anything more than you can. Let the people around you help you get where you're going. Just don't mess it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
you know what I mean?
Now, is it really going to show this season? Because he's kind of lost a lot of parts. So, me personally, I think it's really going to show. And of course, they might be a losing team this season. Just never know. So, you paid this man all this money? So now he has to show and prove, which I don't think he's going to be able to do it. You know,
well, if I was going to troll a little bit, I'd say this. I'd say Jerry Jones went to Rome. I said, look, here's the deal. They're all going to blame me, but I'm going to pay you $100 million if you take the blame. Just go out there. We lose. You just go out there, and it's your fault. And I'll tell them I'm going to make you do better. But because Jerry Jones is the biggest problem the Cowboys have.
Yeah.
If Jerry Jones gets out of the way, a la Dan Snyder, look what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know RG3 has a 90%, reason why, but he wouldn't have been allowed to do that had, Snyder not get out of the way. Let him decide to pull the trigger on his kid with the big trade, mortgage even after the hangover from the last regime of trading draft picks for the last 2 decades. He finally said, okay, make the big trade, do what you got to do. You run the team, you change the offense, you do whatever you have to do. You pick the players, you get rid of Hainsworth, you do all that. And look what's happened. He won an NFC East championship. So when Jerry Jones can do that, the Cowboys will be successful, and Romo will be more successful too.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man.
So I don't know. We'll see, guys. Again, they got to play him. Who would have thought that the Redskins would have won the NFC East after a 2-7 start, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I mean, I thought RG3 wasn't going to meet his expectations.
Hey, when he went down and Kirk Cousins came in and won the game, and they came in the next week and played the entire game and won the game. I mean, all those improbable things happen. You know what I mean? If you just have the right players in the right place at the right time. But Jerry Jones will never be able to do that, and that's he never has. Owners need to own and managers need to manage, and he just needs to step away and separate the two.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for clarifying that.
You really went in.
Look, I'm just speaking the truth, bro. I'm just speaking the truth. You know I am. So look, we got a couple more segments here to go. Actually, one more segment we got to get into. We're gonna do a little NBA report. Of course, the NBA playoffs are hot and heavy. Definitely had some injuries are gonna start to impact these playoffs here as they start ramping up. So when we come back, we'll get into that, and we'll talk a little more NBA. And this is Overtime on FuegoBeats.com.
Hello. My name is Anthony Ramirez. I am owner-operator of Ramirez Internet Solutions. Here at Ramirez Internet Solutions, we specialize in creating WordPress websites, aiding companies with their content management, and helping create search engine optimization-friendly material for the web. We also specialize in graphic design, logo design, and print marketing, creating all your graphics and designs for your web and print advertising. So if you are a small business startup, or not happy with your current website, let Ramirez Internet Solutions take care of your website for you. Even if you have an existing website but don't have the time to manage it, let us manage it for you, so you'll be free to do what you need to do, and that's run your business. Contact Ramirez Internet Solutions today at 571-572-0415. Again, that's 571-572-0415. Or email us at aramirez@ramirezzsolutions.com, or visit us on the web at www.ramirezzsolutions.com. That's www.ramirezzsolutions.com. Look forward to hearing from you soon.
Log in, FuegoBeats.com, YouTube, Mr. Fuego Beats.
All right, welcome back to the Overtime Sports Radio Show on FuegoBeats.com. This is Rick. I'm here with Profitt and Nemsis. How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
All right, let's get back into it. NBA playoffs, like we talked about, they're going hot and heavy, and the injuries are starting to mount up. Stephen Curry, Golden State's banged up. You got Dwayne Wade nursing a knee. But what's going on in Los Angeles is absolute criminal. I mean, you're on Friday night, you're starting Andrew Guglielak and Darius Morris. Who the hell are these guys? You got Steve Nash out, Jody Meeks, Steve Blake, and, of course, the big dog Kobe Bryant. What's going on out there? Come on, Profitt, help me out. What's going to happen in the West?
Well, as the way it's looking so far, I think OKC can still pull something out. They're still up 2-0, of course, even though they have a major injury suffered by Russell Westbrook with a torn meniscus. Also, we have the Lakers and San Antonio, and San Antonio leads that series 2-0. We also have Denver and Golden State, where they're tied up at 1. And we have the Clippers in Memphis, which have the Clippers leading 2-1. Now, I really do think that these are some exciting games, and the series are hot and heavy. But like I said, like Rick said earlier, there's a lot of injuries, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Oklahoma City Thunder do.
Well, how does that change their game plan going into these games? I mean, do they have to kind of change the way their offensive philosophy is now?
I really don't think so. It's just a minor setback, but they're a up and down team. They're fast, they're young, and whoever they have inserted in the Westbrook's position, I'm pretty sure that he can contribute.
Well, he's a point guard, right? So he's like the quarterback of the team.
Exactly. So, but at times, Westbrook can be like a loose cannon out there on the floor. So I don't know whether or not you want to say that's a good thing or a bad thing, especially in big games.
Well, at least he's not John Wall. We're having our own issues over here in DC. So
yeah.
So obviously, we all right. So let's go through the East. Okay, the Heat. All right. So now back to the West. Who's all right? Go ahead, Profitt. I know we want to talk about New York, right?
Yeah, because apparently New York is doing pretty well. They're about to sweep the Boston Celtics. They're up 3-1. Also for Brooklyn and Chicago, we have Chicago up 2-1. We have Indiana and Atlanta. They're Indiana is up 2-0. And of course, we have the Miami Heat, whoop-de-doo, playing Milwaukee, and they're up 3-1 or 3-0.
All right. So we were talking to Profitt earlier. Now you seem to think that there's some way that the New York Knicks are going to be the team that stops the Heat this year. So I want you to give us a breakdown. What is it? What are the players? What are they going to do? What is the game plan for New York to stop? What's the formula to stop the Heat?
To do exactly what they witnessed Chicago do when they stopped that streak that Miami had, and that's just play old school Detroit Pistons bad boys basketball. Now keep in mind that Kobe Bryant is my favorite player, and as soon as he retires, I'm gonna go ahead and put LeBron right there at number 1. But at the same time, what separates the two is LeBron, he doesn't quite have that killer instinct. He's getting it, but he doesn't quite have it. He's improved his game drastically, but when it comes to like really being a fierce competitor as far as like taking it inside whenever you feel like it, even if it's a proven big man like Tyson Chandler and Kenny Martin, who still got it, and then you got Jason Kidd, who I'm gonna take wisdom over age. Just like when they were in the finals not too long ago when he was with the Mavericks. And then Carmelo, he's much more of a scorer than LeBron is, because LeBron kind of got that Pippen/Magic Johnson thing going on with his game, which is good. But when you don't have that killer instinct that Magic had when the game was on the line, instead of just playing hot potato, here way you do it.
Well, hold on. I think you're mistaking killer instinct for something else called conceit or egomania. Because I mean, I think what LeBron has done is evolved his game to kind of say, you know what, okay, if you want to take away my drive to the basket, I'll dish. You want to take away my inside, I'll shoot outside. I mean, he's kind of like he's growing up a little bit in the NBA. I mean, in live action there. I mean, a couple of years ago, I mean, you get a hard foul on him, and you know he wants to walk off the court and go home. But now he's kind of just taking in stride. He understands that, you know, at 260 pounds, when you go in the middle, they're going to hit you hard. That's just the nature of the beast. And
with that being said,
hmm?
hold on. With that being said, explain when they played the Bulls how he let them get in his head when he thought he could just send a message to Boozer when Boozer was just setting a pick, and Boozer's looking at him like, really? You honestly think that's supposed to affect me? And as far as that three-point shooting goes, LeBron, he's improved it, but he ain't no threat like Ray Allen is from outside. I mean, if he's wide open, yeah, LeBron more likely to hit it, but Ray, he'll hit the three whether you're on him or not.
Yeah, but in LeBron's defense, you know, with every loss of, you know, every season he's been in league, he always in the offseason would go and perfect his, you know, that thing that he was lacking in, and he would come back and destroy people the next season. So for him to, you know, for you to say that he's like, you know, he's not a threat here, he's not a threat there. That dude is a monster right now. He has a post game. He has an outside shot. He has a jumper. Whatever you want him to do, he'll do it. He'll pass the ball. So he's going to be a force to reckon with for, you know, many years to come.
He's the most talented player in basketball. I mean, you can't argue that, right?
Exactly. As much as I hate to say it, because I'm
playing
a Kobe
on arguably the most talented team in the NBA.
That is true. That is correct. As much as I hate to say it.
Did they put this thing together to be that? I mean, that's, you know, and that was one of my biggest criticisms. And you know, I'm going to ask you guys, because we talked about it a couple shows ago. For me, it takes away any of the specialness of the championships themselves. He could win 10 in a row and it would impress me. I mean, he put this team together to win championships. You better win them now. You know, that would be like, if I go to a basketball court and I see 5 7-footers and I see 5 4-footers, and I say, well, I get the first 3 picks, and I pick 3 7-footers, and we win 10 games in a row. Is that really a surprise?
Not really. It's almost expected.
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why Jordan made the comment that he made. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, these young kids these days, I could have never did that. Like, hey, Magic, hey, Bird, let's form a team. So yeah, like exactly.
But but you can't go based on that, because players didn't know much about free agency like they do now back in the day, because it was kind of harder to switch around on teams like that. Now you can do whatever you want because players are much more educated with that. See what I'm saying?
Honestly, I think that's bad for the game of basketball, just being able to jump ship instead of just setting examples how you should be loyal to a team, especially if they work with you. Now with LeBron, because I could see Cleveland wasn't really trying to help him the way they should have. But I mean, my goodness, I always thought he would have been a better fit with the Bulls. But I mean,
really,
Bulls? Yeah, the Bulls. I mean, come on now, the Bulls. I don't know anybody that's a real threat at the 2, because LeBron can play all 5 positions. So I mean, I think he'd have been a real good fit with the Bulls, man.
What's wrong with Cleveland? Why did he even have to leave there? Hometown. He took him. Did he take him to the championship or the finals or something? I mean, he took him somewhere, right? Western.
He did. He did that by himself, and he got swept.
Okay, so what the hell are you leaving for?
Well, the main reason
the city roped in, he could go anywhere and eat free. Everybody loves him. You know, he's got marketing out the butt. He could have marketed anything he wanted to internationally. Everybody knew him.
Hey, yep, exactly. But the thing was, when after a while, there's so much you can take, and if your owner's going to tell you no when you try to make a suggestion, then of course you're going to pack up and leave, because he's not trying to put anything around you.
It's not his place. He's a player. Shut up and play. We're paying you millions of dollars. Shut up and play. Give me a trophy, you dummy.
Yeah, but that's your cash cow at the same time. So you see where they're at now. So by him saying no, he kind of dug his own grave, pretty much.
I don't know. I look at it this way, man.
The Cavaliers do suck.
If I own something and I employ you, you do your job, shut up. Don't mean you tell me how to run the business. Just go play, go win. And then you go make your shoe deal, you make your car deal. How many hundreds of millions can you spend anyway? If it's just the hardware, go out there and win one. You're the best player in the NBA. You know what I mean? You win us enough, we get enough endorsements, get enough money in here, we'll put some better players around you. But he made it to the championship. I mean, the finals. I mean, what do you want?
Apparently, he didn't get it over the hump.
No, he just wanted the rings. He wanted the trophies, and he would sell out to do it, which is exactly what he did. Sold out. Michael Jordan didn't do that, and everybody says, "Oh, well, Jordan, but he played with so and so." Well, yeah, the only reason you know their names is because they won 6 freaking championships. Because they won 3 in a row. That's why you know who these players are. Do you think if Michael Jordan had showed up on the Bulls' doorstep, that you even know who Scottie Pippen is? No, you wouldn't even know his big ugly smile.
Yeah, but I do remember them saying that Michael did make the suggestion about drafting Scottie Pippen, which goes back to the whole the cash cow, the big player on the team, on the organization, kind of lending a hand to the owner or whomever.
Yeah, but we're talking Michael Jordan now. Wait, hold on now.
Well, yeah.
Michael Jordan now. I mean, if you look at the NBA symbol, who is that?
Jerry West.
No, used to be.
Used to be.
They changed it. It's Michael Jordan now.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, see, I gotta look at that now.
The original one was Jerry. Now it's Michael Jordan. So I'm just saying, dude, I get it, but I just don't agree with that. Wrap this thing up. Of course, the playoffs, they're still hot and heavy. The draft's going on again tomorrow, so I'm sure you'll be paying attention to that. We'll recap all this next week as we're getting into a little deeper into the playoffs. Of course, the draft picks will all be visiting their cities, I'm sure, gearing up for the OTAs and all that. So I had a great time. Nemesis, Profitt.
Yes, sir.
Hope you guys get back on another show.
Thanks for having us on. Hopefully next week we'll try to keep it clean and nobody will go on a power trip and fire everybody.
Yes, God.
Why are we keeping it? Why are we keeping it clean? Why are we keeping it clean?
I'm sorry. We're not keeping it clean.
I'm just asking why. Why are we keeping it clean?
Because there are minors in here.
Let's not contradict ourselves on Sunday now.
Hold on. Honestly, that's a good question. I mean, I meant to ask before we even started the show. Are we allowed to really express ourselves?
I mean, if you wild out like Hollis did, no. You know what I mean? You don't want to sound like an ignorant, just MF.
No, man.
Yeah.
No. I mean, give me a minute. Let me let it come to me.
Rick, end the show and we could do that.
Gentlemen, it's been real. I'll see you all next week. Hopefully you can come on again in the future. If not, I'm sure we'll hear you on what's the next shows we got coming up for you guys?
Next show is coming up on Monday, the What the Fuego show. Tune in with myself, Profitt, Fuego, and Miss J. So make sure y'all tune in for that.
And some special guests possibly.
Yes.
You can catch me on Just Man Talk and follow me on Twitter at Just Man Talk. And, of course, we'll be getting back again and doing this thing. Hopefully